What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Smash, shout out to you for the recommendation once again. Tony, shout out to you for running it back or asking me to run it back. Rest you down in the comment section. I appreciate you as always. Now let's get into this episode 2. And you did tell me, I didn't realize that this was a two-part pilot. Smash, I know you told me that Anjin is Japanese for pilot, so that's an interesting thing. You also filled me in on the fact that uh, English moving forward in the show, I can translate or assume that that is Portuguese being spoken throughout the duration of the show. So that's an interesting artistic approach, like you said. So I'm looking forward to that. I know it'll just be English, but I like that dynamic moving forward in the show, especially since we have other characters speaking in Japanese, what and whatnot. But first episode, fire. That was amazing, and I'm gonna be honest. Going into this, I saw a trailer, and I saw like the promotional material going into the that first episode, so I knew there was some substance to it. It's got a following. I heard a lot of talk about it, but my expectations were middle of the road. I can't lie. But that pilot definitely hyped me up even more. That was very good. I got some Game of Thrones vibes. I kind of hate to do that because it seems like Game of Thrones is so often like the status quo just because it's one of my favorite shows, highly regarded as a favorite show of a lot of people. So, but I say that because the dynamic between characters, it seems extremely politically driven. And there's also a lot of characters who I don't know where their heart lies exactly. Like I could have swore halfway through that first episode or maybe a third of the way through the episode, I would have said dude with the ponytail, the one that pissed on John. I would have thought he was the snitch that sent the information to. Now I don't have these names down. I'll get that at some point, but I thought he was sending information about the camp and how he knew that they had like the gold, the silver, the weapons from the Portuguese on the ship. I thought he was the leak in that, and I thought there was a great balance between uh, dialogue and not there wasn't a lot of violence, but there was like high tension moments and like when dude got his head sliced in half. I thought they did a good job, and for over an hour long episode, they did a extremely well job of balancing that out and keeping me interested in something I had no recollection or information about. And I know this is like a historic piece, but I don't know exactly how correct it is according to true life or real life. So I'm not the biggest history buff, but nonetheless, episode 2, I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be fire. John just got caught by the Spaniard, or his plans kind of being revealed. I don't know what's going on with him, but we'll see what his fate is. And dude who stepped up for the dude who went in front of the council and said he was going to off his family bloodline. That is a crazy statement. I know they go hard for the Shogun or whatever title they are going for. But that was a little crazy. That was a little unexpected. There's definitely some interesting characters. And dude who was just watching them have sex essentially. Uh, Dude is a freak. Dude got boiled. There's a lot that happened in that first episode, but I enjoyed it all. So we're gonna get into episode 2. Let's do it.
どうぞお心安らかに御仏を一死にお念じなされませ。
八重千代はどこじゃ。
God damn, you got a son this young? You've been getting it.
上手ではどのようにして父上を見つければよいのですか。まつげは今のままでございまするか。
Eyelashes.
この手の爪は
Damn. You supposed to be putting him at ease. Savage little kid. I love the dramatic sound effects, like just that door closing. It makes everything seem so much more epic. Maybe it's just a Japanese thing because anime in general. But
落ち葉はお主の側室になっていても不思議はなかった。
それがし、美人にはと
oh, so he really does want to play with John's balls. Hey.
わしが言うたことを覚えておるか。
わしらは同じ壺にクソを垂れてきたのじゃ。今さら互いの足に小便をかけてどうすると。
曲がりはうごめ高野目の連中ばかりじゃ。
I'm trying to decipher whether Toranaga is a vulture or not.
誠の将軍と呼べる者がいなくなって 100年権勢を分かち合うことになる。
膠着状態にござりまするな。殿下は日の本一の知恵者。
To protect yourself first. You know what? I used to hate these type of intros. I don't know if Game of Thrones started it, but HBO I would say started it. These like real chronomatic, slow pace, chill songs to get you into the episode, but they're artistically like beautiful. I didn't like that style previously, but it's definitely grown on me with Game of Thrones. Obviously, you have like The Wire and stuff like that, but even Homeland that I just started watching recently. But this is really cool.
You know the short, dirty, diseased, and he's got a filthy mouth. He's like a back passage whore of the 15th rank. Know what I mean, Father Visitor?
These journals are proof of his depravity. Look, Your Eminence.
Sacked, slaughtered, and pillaged his...
Oh, he in here snitching, singing like a canary. I didn't know he's gonna let it all out right away.
Despite the discord in Osaka, Toranaga is still president of foreign relations. He's a thorough man. I fear he'll want a complete translation of this journal.
No, thank you to leave now.
See, that's what you get. You ain't even get to finish your food.
Christ is my witness. This bush was on the verge of open war. The last thing we need is any discussion of past entanglements.
Well, then, let us be grateful our visitor does not speak Japanese.
Yeah, he was picking up on it last episode.
You will see to it this man is not a problem.
What he got up his sleeve? I feel like that's gonna be like the little finger of this series. He definitely ain't fighting nobody or getting down and dirty, but he looked like he could play a mean chess game.
What did you just say?
Exactly what you said. I will translate without prejudice.
Well, seeing as you're so bloody honest, perhaps you would do me the courtesy of telling him we are enemies.
Tell him yourself. The Japanese word for enemy is teki. Gesture at me and say the word. He will understand.
その偉人に聞いてくれ。何故お前はわしの通詞の敵なのかと。
He wants to know why we are enemies.
Because our countries are at war.
国同士が争っているからと申しておりまする。
お前の国はどこじゃ。
Tell him where you're from.
England.
それゆえお前は海賊になったのか。敵のカトリックに戦を仕掛けるために本気で信じてもいない神を錦の御旗に掲げて。
I am not a pirate.
20門もの大筒を積んでお
Calling
いて
yourself a pirate before.
My ship contains letters of marque from the rulers of a nation called Holland, authorizing us to trade in all seas. I cannot conceive of being an enemy to you, Lord.
わしにはたやすく思い描けるぞ。さていかがいたす。
I guess this is where the artistic vision comes from that you were mentioning, Smash. It looks like the middleman's just being cut out completely, and it just looks like they're having a conversation back and forth, and I really enjoy that.
There's clearly been some sort of misunderstanding. Where are you taking me? I've committed some sort of offense. I
They cannot understand you.
お前ならわかるか。何故お前の母はおとなしく家に収まっておるのじゃ。
I thought that was like a heartbeat at first. Like he was just tensing up.
召し上がりますのか。
いや、そのような暇はない。虎長様がまたぞろをお呼びじゃ。
Damn.
お主ではない。
At this hour, I know he hot. That jealousy kicking in. He gonna do some stupid shit. I already know.
キリ様こそ聡明で情に深く天真爛漫で虎長様のご寵愛をお受けになられておりまする。殿の御公民
She
を
got one of those voices that's so sweet sounding, but you know she could be evil as shit. I love it.
昔も今も殿には手が焼けまする。
お前の大きな尻と同じじゃ。
あのや、広松様の前で何ということを。この子に及んでは髪を下ろして尼にでもなるほかござりません。
I appreciate this with all the attitude and seeing them in political positions and positions of power. You kind of lose that they're regular people, especially since you don't necessarily understand what they're saying since it's a different language. But I like the humanization of them in these type of scenes.
殿に断罪が下されるのは残りの大老が結束して票を投じた場合のみにござりまする。殿は あの偉人を用いて、
Hmm.
石堂とキリシタンの大老との結束にひびを入れるおつもりかと。
嫁子の腹の座りようをちょっと見習うがよい。
It's worth a shot, whether it works or not. And he's got his own vision of what he wants to get done, so that's going to be an interesting dynamic. He's being used for this purpose, but he also has his own purpose, and then the council has their own purpose. We're getting a little hate triangle.
You should let me give you absolution.
Are these men all marked for death?
Death is the only punishment here.
Other than getting boiled, what you talking about?
All of them are in the palm of Ishido,
That's Ishido. Okay.
caretaker of the castle. Any day now, this man will vote on Toranaga's demise.
Shido, Toranaga, oh no.
Hear me, my
I'll
son.
get the other two's name eventually.
I alone will tell you the truth. If Toranaga claimed you as an ally, you'll never leave Japan alive.
Sheesh. So I wonder if he'll try to align with the other ones just for more power. Damn, how many of these things he got to stand? That's it. Long day's work. He out here hustling.
それがし今朝方目覚めると虎長が我らをどう見てるのか分かったような気がいたした。官僚でござる。我らが正門に藩を押す間に虎長は我らが作る掟を侮り、むしろ我らを貶めようと利用しようとしておるのじゃ。
You know how to play the game. Toranaga out here being a beast. He breaking down the whole hierarchy.
虎長の件、賛否を問うぞ。
主、ディオスの皆において要請する。異端者の処刑が先じゃ。
Look a little bit like Fang from Fantastic Four.
I met a man who said he'd been to that fortress, said there were Japanese soldiers, hundreds of them, all converted to Catholicism. Are you telling me the Lord's here? Don't know.
It's too late for that now.
You don't understand. I must tell them. That's my way out.
You can't play their game. Their rules are too opaque. Their hearts too guarded.
You don't know me.
I've known 1,000 of you.
I wonder that's the second head chopping we've seen so far, but I wonder if this will be one of the shows that strips the main character of its plot armor. That interaction back and forth where he says, I know you, and he said, you don't know me. I wonder which one will remain true throughout the duration of this series.
To this day, you remain my best pupil. Though I must admit my surprise, seeing you yesterday, Toranaga involving you in his affairs.
I do not wish to translate anymore. I do not like this man, the way he speaks to you.
You have always had good instincts about those with bad intentions.
The intuition Toranaga was talking about.
The dark thoughts you have confessed to me in the past, are they still with you?
About like her father and the cross thing.
I trust you know I pray for you, especially with the heretic. I've read his journals. Whatever your heart tells you about him, he is guilty of worse.
わしが朝鮮兵のムクロの山から引きずり出してやった立派な侍だよ。いやはや。
Well, it looked like he ready to unsheath that sword.
虎長はあの者のいずくに今日惹かれておるのじゃ。
あやつがもたらしたものにございましょう。大筒20門に鉄砲500丁。
そんなものなら日の本にもある。
But it's always good to have more.
残念だが、あの偉人の処刑はすでに採火しておる。キリシタン隊のお二方に押し切られたのよ。手の打ちようがなかった。
Aside from not voting for it at all.
Your confession, say it quickly.
No, this can't be. I'm not supposed to die here.
The bastard virgin is watching over you now. Confess before me all sins past and present.
You go with your godfather.
They're taking him somewhere else. The other dude, they just chopped up in the courtyard. Oh, this is the spot. Never mind. Watch this dude just start whooping ass. Those poison darts. Obviously, they're not aiming for him. Oh no, those are arrows. Damn. Damn. Are these all the people that they were just the Moscow? That place of all the. Okay, so yeah, okay. So he did do something. Wow.
Yes, yes.
Oh my goodness, such a random death blow. He just like shanked him in the kidney 3 times. Jesus. Damn. He ain't necessarily a good person, so I can't feel sorry for him, but damn.
My name is Todamariko.
John Blackthorn. And you should know I'm not Catholic.
アンジに伝えてくれ。こたびの牢入り、大義であったと。
My lord would like to say that he is sorry for the time you spent in prison.
She ad-libbing a little bit. Get tighter.
My queen is wise and thoughtful and would want to be your ally.
自分は敵ではないと申しておりまする。
Everybody just out here lying to get what they want.
Japan is here. My country, England. It's on the other side of the world.
日の本を指し、次にイギリスを指しましてございまする。
We came by way of Magellan's Pass.
この大陸を回ってきたと申しておりまする。
We are the first outsiders to use it because the Spanish and the Portuguese kept it secret. If I may, I will explain now. This is the way Portugal and Spain carved up the New World. 70 years ago, they signed a treaty that split undiscovered land between them. Your country falls into the Portuguese half. So it belongs to them.
ポルトガルとスペインの日の本はポルトガル領だと申しておりまする。
誠にポルトガル領と申したのか。
はい、そのように。Do you swear by your God?
Yes, I do.
アンジは何と申したのじゃ。
ain't gonna take that sitting down. This is where our show begins.
He asks what you seek here.
To vanquish our common enemies.
He's saving ass.
You are outnumbered. It is hopeless.
Unless I win.
己が勝てば望みはあると申しておりまする。
Got a little smirk out of him, okay?
アンジに今宵は西の丸に泊まれと伝えよ。
Oh, moving on up. Okay.
外は物騒じゃ。盗賊がうろついておるからの。
We got another main character with a silver tongue. Okay, okay.
This is a great honor. I hope you will enjoy.
Don't even tell me he.
Is that his?
Don't tell me he gonna put on some armor.
That battle armor was ordered specially by Toranaga-sama after he saw it in a dream. These women can assist you in preparation for your bath.
Thank you, but I've already bathed.
Oh, in the prison?
No, in the village.
But that was some time ago.
What, two baths in a week?
A week?
Do you want me to catch the flux?
ようわからぬが、アンジン様は今風呂に入りたくないそうじゃ。
Oh, they would have bathed you too. What you do?
取り決めをするのは、それら砦についての見聞を広めてからでも遅くはあるまい。
Oh, he flipped the tables on him. Got you thrown under the bus. Uh-oh.
Martina Ovitu has just received word from Toranaga. He has denied our departure papers for the Black Sheep.
As Gav
Cursed heretic doesn't even have the decency to ruin us slowly.
Let this be my burden, Father.
Everybody swapping sides. Everybody got their own endeavors. Their own. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. What's everybody trying to get at? Everybody got a different power play. I'm losing track of what the actual goal is. I guess everybody's just going for the throne, essentially, but the path to it just seems so convoluted. I don't see how any of these are beneficial in the long run. Damn. Oh! She just mushed him in the face and shanked him in the neck. Damn. Savage. Damn. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Oh my goodness, she didn't even have to kill her. I thought she was just gonna take her prisoner, but she just taking everybody out. Damn. Damn, she's savage. She a damn beast. I know they said assassin, but is this technically like a rodent? I don't know. Ooh, okay, Toranaga.
No!
Did he get the knife or did she get herself? Oh, I thought she was just gonna take herself out so she didn't become a prisoner, but I guess not. She was already sliced in the neck, so she didn't have much time anyway, but... Is he hurt? She said, look at all that white he wearing. He ain't got no blood on him. He did that without breaking a sweat. Tactical move, nice. I love this. There's a lot of elements to this show. There's like it's almost like a crime noir, or getting to that point. Nice, good episode. Because I feel like everyone, like I said, everyone's got their own motives in this show. So people are moving in silence. Things are happening without us necessarily knowing that they've been put in motion. I guess there's times you can assume that or pull that with intuition or whatever the case may be, but very good, not only dialogue but writing in this episode. It was very good last episode too, but this one was dialogue driven, and it for a moment throughout the episode I was like, this might be like a 7 out of 10 episode. It's still very good, but not quite as good as the first one in my opinion, just because it was purely like setting the tone, setting the scene, a lot of dialogue, getting to know characters a little bit more, which I appreciate, but it was a slower episode and still somewhat long. It didn't feel long, I should clarify that, but very good episode. So when it comes to everybody setting things in motion, I feel like everyone, they're playing the role of like being on the same side, but really not being very well. And it's extremely confusing to like explain that, like my thought process in terms of how everybody is going about their everyday goal. This is one of those shows that kind of has me at a loss for words, but in a good way, because I'm not sure exactly what to expect. Obviously, you've got things coming to light, like John obviously explaining the treaty or the agreement between the Portuguese and the Spaniards, and them belonging belonging to Japanese, that is, to the Portuguese, because they fall in like their region. But him coming and having the goal of mass export, I know we spoke about that in last episode when he was with the Spaniard and finding his book and all his like dirty deeds, and him being like espionage and keeping his identity and his intentions under wrap is an awesome element. And then you have Ashido, he's kind of more in the background. We haven't gotten too much out of him, but I forget the partner in crime that ended up saving him from the execution. He's been in all these episodes. The freak. He's got an interesting dynamic because I feel like he's trying to get to the top. He's a little bit further down the pecking order, but he's playing and pulling from so many different fields to gain favor and then strike when the iron's hot. At some point, I know that's going to be his move, because you could tell he wasn't happy with the way Toranaga came to the ship, the weapons, the gold, the silver, and he's still going to try to make his moves in the background. So he's got something brewing. And then you got his right-hand man, who we didn't see in this episode, dude who peed on John. I don't know where he lies at all. Like, he was following orders from this guy, but at the same time, he looked like he was troubled and didn't necessarily want to follow those orders. He was just doing it because he's further down the pecking order, and I wonder if that's going to change, how soon we're going to see him again. I don't know how long we're actually going to spend time in the castle, and whether we'll go back to that base camp where they still are. That's going to be interesting. Mariko, I love her character because it's always going to be the intellectual, more quiet ones who do a great job of interpreting things to come and having that foresight to be on the lookout for certain things. And she seems like a extremely tactical type character, so she might be my favorite moving forward and learning more about. In Toranaga, I love his character. He's very stern, but yet soft spoken at the same time. At least so far, he's a good leader. I just don't. Usually, Mariko is probably going to be my favorite. Right now, I'm going to stick with that. But usually, off like first episodes, pilots, getting into these series, I'm able to pinpoint exactly who I love and who I think I'm going to love moving forward. I'm not sure I can with this series because I can't even say so many of them. I feel like all of them, I don't know their true intentions. And whether what I thought was their true intentions will continue to be fluid and change over the course of this season, if that makes sense. So very interesting. This was an episode that answered questions but also raised questions, and I'm excited to see what we get more of and more of an explanation of in the next episode coming up. Let me scroll through this timeline because I never want to miss anything. Obviously you got Toranaga, and I said I'll get those names down. I think I'll be able to stick with his the opening scene where he was kind of gifted that title, raised obviously problems with the intention between him and the rest of the council, and now they're kind of plotting and conspiring against him, and this is all I'm not sure. Remind me, I might have just missed it, how old the kid is. I know he says to hold this position until the kid is 16 or of age, but I don't know how many years that is and how old he is now. So remind me if you can. Wow. Yeah, very good episode. I like the dynamic of the speech. I know you said English is basically Portuguese. And I thought there might be a possibility of that type of dynamic. And obviously it's easily come across, but I thought there might be instances, especially the way they portrayed it in a couple scenes, that it might get confusing, but it's very well done and I enjoy that. Something I haven't, this is kind of random, off point, off base, but I really enjoy the cinematography, the sound design, and everything in this show. There's sometimes with certain shows, and especially ones with a lot of dialogue, where the smallest things, the smallest nuances and things that maybe the directors, writers, and the camera crew might overlook, to where it takes you out of a series and out of the storyline, so you just lose focus and maybe even interest. I feel like all that is done very well in this show, so I'm looking forward to that. The priest, or the father, he's got, I don't know what to think about him yet. I don't know if he's got a thing for Mariko, or maybe she just is a treasured student and he really respects her. Maybe he knows he can kind of mold her a little bit, kind of like with, like I said, Littlefinger and Sansa. He played those cards right so he could kind of move up the ranks along with Sansa. And I wonder if that's what he's trying to do, and maybe it's not. Also, Littlefinger had a thing for Sansa, ended up marrying her, so I don't know. I guess we'll see moving forward. Marco's husband, I don't know how that dynamic is going to shape up. Obviously, he's got a little bit, I don't know if you call it jealousy, but he's upset about these meetings and her being respected and summoned over him. He's feeling some type of way. I feel like he might do something a little crazy, like confront Tornaga, or just do something where he doesn't allow her to confide in him or be a part of these meetings. Something I feel like he'll do to put a stop to this or put his mind at ease. I don't know how to even phrase that, but yeah. But art style, I love the dialogue, the speech, and it seems like they do a good job of throughout the episode sprinkling little here you goes, like this is something to look out for, something you may not have been expecting, specifically with I forget his name, dude with the red robe who we saw sitting down at the table conspiring with like the priest, or that guy who the Spaniard gave the book to. Sorry, I don't have his name down yet, but I wasn't expecting to see that dynamic of them together, and we got that with Ashido and the guy who was trying to take over for Toranaga. There's so much going on and it's confusing. I'm trying to take down names, but excuse me because I feel like I'm kind of just babbling at this point. But this is definitely an episode that I need to probably watch again and intake a little bit more, because I feel like there's some more answers in here that I might have just overlooked moving forward. Or maybe, hey, that might have to be the question for this episode. You guys know I always ask them at the end of these things, but at this point in the episode, or in the series, I know it's only episode 2, but from this point, your thoughts about the show, the series, where you thought it was going to go, how accurate were you in terms of interpreting or deciphering what was going to happen compared to what actually does happen at the end of the show? How many of you guys actually locked it down and guessed what was going to happen at this point in the show, or were you completely off base? Maybe you had different theories than me, different thoughts than me. Definitely let me know in this episode, what were your thoughts? Who was your favorite? Who did you think was eventually going to win the title and win this rat race of obtaining their goal by any means necessary? And that's what it seems like. Everybody's doing exactly what they have to do, whether it's lying, sneaking behind the scenes, sending assassins, conspiring, being in cahoots. Everybody seems like they're putting their hand in each pot that is vying for the title of Shogun, and we'll see who ends up getting bit in the butt for doing it this way. Very interesting, very good episode, but I'm gonna stop rambling because I feel like there's a lot I want to think over and probably watch this episode again. But another great one. I'm gonna go. I'll probably go 8 out of 10 for this one. This was another good one, and I appreciate you guys watching. As always, hit the like button. Make sure you share. If you haven't already, subscribe. I know some of you just stop in occasionally, and that's in partial my fault because I don't upload as consistently as I want to right now, but I appreciate you guys watching regardless. Make sure you stick with me. Recommend any shows that you'd like to see in the future, but for now, we're sticking to Shogun. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay chill. Deuces.